Friends, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and of course, our new graduates. Thank you very much for all of you coming together to celebrating the new graduate students getting their degrees. Wonderful. Over the past few days, been contemplating what do I tell our new graduates getting their degree, where do they go, what is that they need. Well, it occurred to me, we are talking about lifelong continuous education. The pursuit of education, particularly learning, higher learning, is an obligation we all have, but of course, it is not something many of us get. You can count yourself among the privileged few who got this great opportunity for higher education and doing your higher learning. Education, friends, is an enabler for level playing field and to have good quality of life. The challenge now is what you learn, how do you implement, what do you practice, how do you practice. It can be a challenge as you leave your home country. That itself shows your leadership, that you are one of those who is willing to take the risk to learn and improve your quality of life. You are willing to take those chances. So you left your home country, you have come to the great country we call Canada, God's country. That's what I call. It can be a challenge to leave your home country. We are blessed as Canadians. You chose Canada as the country to pursue your goal, your life ambition. That's what you have done. I did myself. 50 years back, I came to this great country we call Canada. I call God's country. Friends, in life, to make a living, to earn, we learn. But learning to earn is not the only obligation you have. But also by learning to earn, yearning to have a living is for your family and yourself. But when you start giving, you start building a community. As Winston Churchill said many years back, you build a community by giving back to the community. So you learn, you earn, make a family, but give back to the community. And together, as Joe Clark, the former Prime Minister, said, this great country, Canada, is a community of communities. So you have come to the right country to build your future and be part of this great country. As the international students, some of you may return home to pursue your career ambitions and the path. You cross thousands of miles to come here. But many of you will be willing to settle in this great country we call Canada, the God's country. This country is very innovative, stable economy, and a true democracy with diverse population. And that becoming a Canadian is a great opportunity for all of you. But of course, with continuous change in technology, you also have to make sure you adapt the new technology, all the digital technology, technology in the healthcare, technology environmental, all these technologies, with the shelf life of many of these technologies is very short. What it demands from you as a citizen of this great country is try to adapt, make yourself available, that you learn these technologies and continuously grow with your career opportunities. I'm pleased to know, as a speaker for the convocation at Lambton College, I follow great eminent speakers here who took part, like my great friend, late Prime Minister John Turner, great Lisa Wright, who was a Natural Resources Canada Minister, with Stephen Harper, then of course Steve Paikin. So we have had many great people who come and address you, the students. So here I am, a gypsy in my life who was born in India, taught in England, Birmingham University, here in Canada for the last 50 years. So it's a great country, and I'm glad you chose to come to Canada to get your skills and upskill yourself. In this modern global village with rapidly changing technology, you need to continuously upskill your capability. Very, very important. As you know, the shelf life of technology is a minimum. So as we grow, you have to upskill continuously. Recently, I put a proposal with some other people in the field of mathematics. Many universities in Canada coming together and going for newer opportunities. But you do all this upskilling to meet the market needs, but also the societal needs. You don't live in isolation, you live in a community. So upskill yourself for buying groceries, but make sure that you also upskill yourself to adapt with the community, the society you live in. Well, friends, I'm 82 years old. I've been living for 50 years, as I said, left India 55 years back, was in England for 6 years, and in Canada since 74. I may be walking slow today, but my thoughts are not slower. 82 years, I might have made mistakes, but I still continue to learn. Learn to help the industries, the economic champions I work with. At the same time, continue to contribute with our society, with our community. So your learning process doesn't stop. You continue to learn. Maybe you learn slower, but you continue to learn. You don't learn as fast as you did when you was 16 or 18 or 20, but it is a continuing process. What I also want to say is, this country, if we decide to stay back, is one of the best countries in the world to choose and be with. So graduate students, I want to impress upon you, this country looks at each citizen equally, give you equal opportunity to contribute, to work with your life, to manage your life. But she also recognizes the contribution that you do make. Very humble to say, the country gave me Order of Canada as an officer last year. Very humbly, I want to share that with you. And the country that we live, you have equal opportunity, whatever you do, to grow with, to share with, and also enjoy the privileges. So Canada is a unique country in the world, a true democracy, recognizing the contribution of every citizen of this great country we call Canada. I have been traveling up and down all over the world, but also made many trips to the great country we call India, which is where I was born. And of course, I left 55 years back. Go there quite regularly, had opportunity to meet many leaders, champions. I had the privilege of meeting, spending time with late President Kalam. With him, did many projects. Mr. Mark Keeley, my colleague, he and I went to his house in Rajaji Marg. So together, we had opportunity to work with great leaders. He did what you call Vision 2020 for India, to bring urban and rural communities together to increase the quality of life for Indian citizens. As part of it, he had a mission called Pura, providing urban amenities to rural areas, to minimize the drift between rural and urban community members. Minimize, to solve that, he started this Pura. And together, some of us here in Canada, enjoying the legacy of Kalam, we started working on what we call smart villages. We give courses in the University of Toronto. We go around the world. In Africa, we give courses on smart village. With Mark Keeley and a few others, we have written a book called Smart Village. The objective here, friends, is making sure living in rural villages, rural areas, doesn't stop you getting the amenities, good drinking water, the energy, education, healthcare, skill development. At the same time, make sure that you have employment opportunities. So we don't leave the villages, lose our culture, migrate to cities, and that create challenges and problems. During the COVID time, many places in the world had challenges they met because of COVID, and to go back to the villages, many have tried. So what is very important, provide through this mission of Smart Village good amenities, drinking water, safe drinking water, energy, healthcare, education. Education is an enabler to lift your skills, and then assure yourself of jobs. Canada is not Toronto and Vancouver. We have great communities in Timmins, Whitehorse, Ecolovitch, many places. So together we build this great country, what we call Canada, but also make sure that we do provide all the basic amenities to people, those who live in the rural areas. So we just wrote a book with my good friend Kelly, Murthy, and Chokalingam, and many others, what is called Smart Village, published by Springer. Basically, these books take the message across to the world, and today with the e-version, people all over the world can read, and the life experience of all these people to tell you what is happening. And it's very important that you treat all your fellow citizens, not Canada alone, but globally, with equal respect, and also make sure that we all have an opportunity. This program on Smart Village gave me, as I said earlier, to work with former President Kalam. Was a great person, brought him to Canada many times, to University of Waterloo, to EFT, to Mars, many places. He gave lectures, met with Prime Minister Stephen Harper, Premier Dr. McGinn, many people. Things that he says is, don't get afraid. If you fail, you still can continue. Fail is only first attempt in learning, but that is not the end of it at all. The end is effort never dies, effort never dies, effort never dies. So don't take no as an answer. What it does tell you is make sure you learn from it, don't repeat it, you made a mistake, but you make sure that look for the next opportunity. So what you need to tell yourself, if I fail in the first time in life, you will be making mistakes, with the challenges, but don't stop. It's a learning experience, but don't repeat it again. It's not the end of it at all. What I also want to say to you, young students, the challenges sometimes may be our own making. Burning fossil fuel, CO2 emission, many cars. In Canada, we have got 600-700 cars per 1,000 people. Learning to use public transport so the CO2 emission can be reduced. Canada is a blessed country in terms of resources, whether you talk about hydro, minerals, when you talk about carbon emission, we have critical metals here. When you want energy storage and all that, Canada is blessed with the resources. And this country is a great country. We, unlike many other countries who may have such resources, we also have the whole infrastructure to make sure these resources are profitably gained, explored, and make the end-use materials. We have got the infrastructure with the lawyers, with financiers, environmentalists, and social good governance, democracy. So together we have a great infrastructure to make sure the resources we have are profitably recovered and made and contributed for economic growth. Friends, what is also very, very important in life, you may have many challenges like climate change. What is happening somewhere else in the world today, people are thinking about food security. And also people are looking about some other challenges, the type of fertilizer you may use, whatever you do. You go to your shop, you may have groceries, and if you want something more green, you may be willing to pay more, but it's all together making sure we appropriately use our know-how and knowledge for better health and better living. Like many people, we in our life have to seek continuous reforms. In a democracy, it gives you an opportunity. As human beings, when you see some challenges, you look for reforms. When new horizons open up, now clean energy gives you opportunity for energy storage. You look for public transport. So reduce, and together we do it. Government alone cannot solve the problems. Government together with society and the private sector, we come together to solve the problem. We engage ourselves together because the problem is a common problem, common challenge, and we work together. And the young minds like yourself, you international students, if we decide to settle down in this great country, Canada, in our demography, you'll be making a great contribution. Because aging society, I just told you, I'm 82 years old. I need more of you to stay in this great country in Canada to contribute to this great country, Canada. So consider yourself, you're fortunate to come to Canada to pursue your education, but the education will realize opportunities for economic well-being. But together, you will be contributing to the great country, what we call Canada. So what I would like to say to you, we have to continue to try, continue to inspire, continue to uplift your fellow human beings. Above all, make sure you continue, relentlessly you continue to pursue your passion. Dream big, but also set a goal and walk, obtain the skill set to realize your goal, realize your dream. Dream, don't leave it to even while walking, even during daytime, dream big. Make sure you, through your dreams, we had, we had today Shopify, you had BlackBerry once upon a time, Nortel once upon a time. We brought the insulin in this great country, Canada. We have contributed with 35 million people. We have contributed phenomenally. We got universal health care. The whole world is envy of what we are doing. So a great democracy, opportunity for everybody. So what you children, you graduates have to realize is you have an opportunity to be part of the Canadian mosaic, and make sure that you contribute continuously to make this country sustain its quality of life and also be a leader in the global village to share what you have learned with a fellow human being. Together, it's a great opportunity. In you graduates, I see the future prime ministers of this great country, presidents of great universities, and corporate leaders in this great country, and also great community leaders together with you. So you can become a prime minister, you can be a president of a great university in Canada, you can be the CEO or chairman of a great Canadian company. Also, you can be a great community leader. Together we make this country prosper peacefully, progressively, for sustained quality of life, and also making sure all of us are safe, secure, with good quality of life. I want to thank you for coming to Canada, choosing your time to learn, and wish you all the best in your continued engagement. Together with we as Canadians will contribute to our great country, what we call Canada. Thank you very much.